Hey guys, welcome to episode 118, where we are drinking Funky Farmer Ralph. I keep wanting to say Funky Fresh Farmer, and dude, if it was a fresh hopped beer, then that'd make sense.
Yeah.
But Funky Farmer Ralph Farmhouse Fruited Ale, Cherry and Plum.
Barrel aged.
E9 beer, local brewery to us, featured many a times on our Pints episode.
Many times. Most
Which is
times.
a hyper local series that releases on Sundays at 10 a.m. So if you're in the Tacoma, Washington area, you wake up Sunday morning, get your coffee, you listen to a 5-6 minute episode about a random beer. And if it sounds good to you, you can get the brewery. It's just, we're not sponsored or anything. We don't get the beer for free. We just like to support local breweries. And yeah.
If you ever watched our podcast and you're like, I like this, but I want a lot less, that's a good one for you.
Yep. On the YouTube channels.
Yes. I forget we have just audio, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes I
every
forget
time.
when I'm editing. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Gotta do that. So this is a commitment.
So, careful.
Okay.
You explode a lot of beers.
I understand. Okay. I understand. This is the one thing I'm good at, though. I am much better at this than opening a normal beer.
I don't
You just aim it right at the lens, okay? And
don't believe you. They have beer sabers.
excuse me?
Do they have beer sabers? Like they have champagne sabers?
Probably.
Um,
Probably easier for bottles than it is for cans. All right, then. Who's reckless now? It's coming. Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's almost there. You can feel it.
my bottle's really slippery.
I don't know why you don't twist it.
Oh,
Wait.
I do.
Go for the wiggle.
Oh, you go wiggle?
Yeah,
I don't like the wiggle.
I like the wiggle.
The wiggle bugs me because I feel like I'm gonna break the cork in half, or
Oh no, shit! I didn't even think about that.
yeah, and or it will go into the drink. And
Well, thanks. Now I'm going to start breaking corks left and right now that I'm thinking about it.
so.
Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, that's a fine wine if I've ever seen one.
Didn't want to release that carbonation. Oh yeah, we're getting some heavy wine vibes in that.
Yeah.
So E9, like a long time ago, back in the summer days,
Yep.
we had a sour or wild ale. Hope you guys are listening. Not you guys, the color people.
Oh, okay.
The color brewing, whatever.
Yes.
Those guys. Because, sour or wild.
Sure.
Dude, your beer looks like jelly.
Yeah.
You have a cup of jelly.
Yeah. I probably fucked up the end. Don't pour it all in. Same mistake, but reversed.
I don't know. I kind of want to.
Sure.
There are differences allegedly to sour and wilds, but
There's not.
we had E9's Wild Bing Cherry. That's what kind of drew me to this because the Bing Cherry was very good in my opinion. Not so much to Nick's.
No, I did. Of all of that kind of shit, I thought that one was pretty good, actually. It was a little, the sourness was a lot more mellow.
You thought it was good for a sour, not...
No, I very vividly remember having that beer.
You would say you like it?
Yeah, I would say that I like it. I don't think... I don't know if
get
I
it
would,
again?
I was just about to say, I don't know that I would buy it again. But like,
But if someone, walked back to your table and was like, I got you a beer.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Again, I think the sourness was a lot more tame. It was like almost more of just like a slight tartness.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
We also have Plantation 5-year rum. If Nick needs a break from whatever it is we're drinking.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were getting into here, really. So
it is a Belgian Pilsner malt, Belgian pale malt wheat. That's the sentence I copied. So,
no hops. I can tell.
Fermented in stainless, then transferred to oak barrels with, I can't say the Brett word.
Brettanomyces.
Brettanomyces. I don't know. For your evasion.
Brettanomyces.
I feel like it's myces.
Brettanomyces.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Barrel blended, then aged on locally grown plums and Bing cherries from Chelan, Washington.
Jalen?
No.
Cholo?
No.
But closer?
Closer.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to give this a go.
Yeah. It's it's kind of a thick boy as it looks.
Smells very cherry and like raspberry.
I instantly started salivating as I was pouring it because I could smell it.
It's like a Jolly Rancher smell wise.
Dive in. I'll say off the bat, I don't hate it. Hate it.
Is a Jolly Rancher.
It is a strong flavor.
It's a Jolly Rancher, and then like at the very end, you get that like I don't even know how to describe like the plum aftertaste.
Oh yeah.
Like sitting at the very back of your mouth, there's like that like plum gunk. I'm gonna call it gunk. I don't love plums. They're fine.
I don't know that I've ever ate.
They got some gunk though.
What are they like? I just picture a big grape when I think of a plum.
Yeah,
is that true? I don't know. I can't recall seeing a plum.
I'll pull it up.
All right. I definitely have never eaten a plum for sure. Sure. Yeah. Kind of a big cherry
fruit.
A big purpley cherry.
Yeah, like these guys. You know,
yeah,
like a picture, like a peach, cherry, grape thing.
The yellow on the inside, all of them.
No,
that's a fucking avocado. Someone's playing.
This one,
yeah. Good one, son. Don't play with me.
I think there's just like lots of types, like grapes and cherries and shit.
It checks
like,
out.
Who knows?
Yeah,
not a fruit scientist.
You don't like plums?
I think they're fine.
Yeah,
they're a little gunky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not in the mood for fruit often.
Yeah.
I like the idea of fruit way more often than I eat it.
That's I'm kind of and hear me out. It's not that I don't want fruit. It's that I know if I buy it, I'm going to waste a lot of it.
Yeah, you have to wait until you're in the mood. I'm with you there.
Yeah, like pretty much summer is almost the only time I buy fruit.
Speaking of, if you were going to like quarantine for like 2 weeks or whatever, 10 days or whatever the quarantine amount is.
Okay.
And you're like, oh shit, I got to go, to the grocery store to live.
Sure.
What's like the main thing you're buying?
Ooh, okay.
Grocery wise.
I would say meat.
What kind of meat?
Well,
like specifically, like what item are you like, this is like the priority here?
That's kind of hard because I like beef more, but I mean I can freeze it. I just hate freezing shit. I hate
you're quarantining shit. You're quarantining.
So I have to freeze shit.
It's likely inevitable.
All right. Well, yeah, see, I still don't know. I think I would probably have to go with chicken just for versatility reasons.
What kind of chicken? Like a bunch of chicken breasts?
Yeah. Just for versatility reasons. Because, like, I'm thinking ground beef, which I enjoy more. But, like, I think after like day like 5 or 6, I'm gonna be like, I would kind of want something other than a burger.
I 100% thought you were gonna say ground beef.
Yeah.
I went to the store like on Sunday or Monday or something.
Yeah.
Because I needed food.
Okay.
And so the obvious choice is ground beef.
Sure.
Went there, get some ground beef, walked out with like 17 pounds of it.
So you're freezing
accidentally.
some.
I say accidentally, but like, you know.
You still bought it.
I went to like the you know, counter section and got like some packages of like 3 or 4 pounds of ground beef. And then I was walking by like the little like aisle sections, I guess. Yeah. And there was like a sale going on for like that worked out to be 99 cents a pound on ground beef.
Is that in the tubes?
No.
You ever gotten that?
I don't like the tubes.
Yeah,
not for me.
Yeah. Which it's so cheap, so.
It's so cheap, but like
yeah.
So yeah, I bought a fuck ton of ground beef and I've had like almost or more. I've had between like 0.8 and 1.2 pounds of ground beef for like the last 4 days.
Yeah.
I'm going full supersize me right now. Right? Like I'm like either I'm going to like die or prove that it's all bullshit. Now I think it's all bullshit.
Sure.
I'd probably die from like hamburger buns and chips or whatever else I eat with the burger. But
probably.
Yeah, just like I've been eating, like if I don't stock up on something like that or buy like 20 pounds of steak, I just end up eating whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like pizza, Taco Bell, a steak. Like it just does, like it could be healthy, it could be unhealthy. It's just like whatever.
100%. I'm right there with you. I'm very I'm not very diligent when it comes to like planning out meals and like making sure it's balanced, and I get like a whole bunch of other shit. Like,
yeah,
I'm with you. It's literally just whatever fucking happens.
If I run out of food and I don't go to the grocery store, it's just like, am I going to spend $50 on fried rice tomorrow? We'll see.
It's either that or I'm making 5 quesadillas.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh man.
So I went with burgers and man, feel great.
Good. Yeah, I bet.
I feel like I was really craving like cuz I eat a very my go-to would be to eat a very high protein diet.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like I was craving protein like from just not having food, so I was just eating whatever. I was like, fuck man, I just need to intake as much protein as possible. So.
It's kind of funny you say that, because I was actually thinking like that exact same thing the other day, where I've just been eating so much random shit where I'm like, I need to get like 4 steaks or like a shit ton of ground beef, and like I just like really, it's like a weird thing. Like I don't know how to describe it, but I just feel like I need fucking protein.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Well, the other thing, like, because we do like. We have our beer podcast episodes and stuff, and then we are also enjoyers of beer.
Sure.
On top of that, so it's very easy for us to consume a lot of beer.
A lot.
So there are some days where, like, we film a podcast that has 2 double IPAs, and you just like don't eat dinner really, or you're like, or dinner consists of like something small that's just like, convenient random shit, and then it's like, wow, I just had 1,000 calories or whatever, and 800 of them were beer.
You want to hear this fucked up thing I did last weekend? So it's like 4:00, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All I had was like a late breakfast, so I didn't really have lunch, and so we get to like 4 and I'm hungry. But I'm like, I can't like eat dinner now. Like that's ridiculous. And like, I'm at least going to wait till 5 or something. And so I cut up some cheese and sausage and have that with crackers.
Delicious.
Thanks. Continue it. And So I'm eating that, drinking a beer that's like, I think 8%. And then Renee orders a Panda Express.
See, like I said, it's just, it's just random.
Exactly. And then I eat half of it and I'm like, I am not even half, probably like a third of it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I am fucking stuffed.
Yeah.
Like I cannot, my beer's not even finished, like completely finished. I still have like a sip left of that. Like what the fuck? And I was just wrecked. Like, I can't keep doing this every day.
Yep.
So it's
Protein.
Yeah, it's really funny that, you know, kind of mirroring each other here because, yeah, that exact same thing's happened to me.
My story was, I was like up here and like had a red can and then which is a beer that's like really light lager. It's like nothing.
Yeah, if you guys can get
like
that,
water.
give that a go because it's so light but has like a great flavor.
And then I went downstairs and then I came back up here to like, you know, record plays or like play Xbox or something. And then I was like thinking about it like before I was going to bed and I was like, how many red cans did I drink? Oh, probably like 2, maybe 3. And then I was like, and then I, you know, got the beer off of my desk and downstairs and like put it in the trash and like there was some in the trash and I was like, well, I had 5. So, yeah.
I know, man. All right.
Which it's like funny because it's like 5 beers. That sounds like a lot, which it kind of is. But like the red cans, they're next to nothing. And then like on a podcast, we'll drink like 2 double IPAs that are 16 ounce and are 8. And that's more than 5 red cans.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like,
both in calories and in alcohol. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Like,
but it was just like funny where it's like you just, after like 6 hours, 7 hours or whatever it was, you know, late night playing video games. And it's just like, well,
this is where I'm at.
so
there've been a couple days recently where I have forced myself not to drink a beer. Like I'm rounding out the night, haven't had a beer yet, and I'm about to have dinner, and I'm like, you know, maybe I should just have a cup of water today. It's probably a good idea to just like take a day, you know. But that, and also I'm like about to pull the trigger on getting a yoga mat. And there's this snowboarder who like she's super rad, and then like she does like this yoga stuff, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna probably do that. You know,
it's not running.
Exactly. It's not running, and I'm not the most flexible human being on earth.
Yep.
So, yeah, get a little workout, get a little flexibility action going, and I think I'll feel a lot better after that. I've been meaning to do yoga for like years, honestly.
My solution has been get a fucking massive water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That helps.
Yeah.
Just because I always have water next to me and I'm always thirsty.
Yep.
And then eat protein. And then it's like, oh, I don't feel like, man, I'd have a beer. Because it's not like you and I are the same. And like, I never am, or I'm rarely like, oh man, I need a beer. Like I need to like relax or, you know.
Yeah, no, it's not like, it's very
like occasionally
rare.
I'll come home from like a stressful day of work where I'm like, man, I need to pick me up, comfort food beer.
And even then, right? Like not even every stressful day. Like,
no, it's like, you know, you have a especially crazy day.
Sure. And you're just like,
I need
you know,
a beer.
I need a beer. That's
Crazy day. Fuck.
yeah.
But like, it's very easy to be like kind of hungry and kind of thirsty and be like, that beer sounds good.
Right. Yeah, like you were saying earlier. Like it's just it's something we enjoy, right? It's nothing, you know. If you add up the beers, we're probably alcoholics. But if looking at our brain functionality, I think we're fine. I think you went on entire over a month, right? Or was it a month?
I went. Well, I think it was like the month of January.
Sure. Yeah. You went January without any beer.
I might do that again.
I've done a couple days here and there.
I haven't had a beer, and this is my first beer since the weekend.
Nice. I went. What day was that? Was that Zombie Day?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
I went since yesterday.
Yes, yesterday. And actually, yesterday I had one, and I planned on. I was like, I'm just gonna have this one, and then kind of got in that mode of like killing zombies, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna last. This promise ain't gonna last.
Playing Call of Duty is like, it's very easy just to like constantly be drinking a beer.
Oh, sure. Especially if we're not playing Warzone.
Yeah. Warzone, it's a little tougher because you're kind of like into it, but like zombies, it's like,
I don't give a fuck.
oh, round switching.
Multiplayer's like
round
rounds are
switching.
quick. Yeah, it's so quick. But yeah, no, I have been consciously trying to, simmer down a little bit.
You could do dry January with me.
It's been a year since then. That's pretty crazy.
And the beers weren't that bad.
I was just gonna say we did do all non-alcoholics in the podcast. So I mean, did that last year. It was fine.
We could do the same, just not like 6.
We could do the same. Just I won't drink beer off the podcast.
Well, and didn't you also do alcohol on the podcast?
There might have been like one.
Because I know we had the non-alcoholic beer showdown where we blind tested like 6 different beers.
Yeah, but then we did the 1 week with like that whiskey too and a couple other things. And
I thought like you had whiskey and I had the not whiskey.
that sounds like me.
Yeah. Then
Yes,
I had the fake gin. You had
It was
a
probably
beer.
my guess is it was probably 2 and 2, where 2 weeks I drank alcohol and the other 2 weeks I
Yeah.
just had whatever we did with the non-alcoholics.
Yeah, the harder
That's
part
my
will
guess.
really be not the podcast, but just the
Because we did do a whole episode
day.
on just the Heineken,
we did.
and then we did the showdown, and then I think the other 2 times I probably had alcohol.
Heineken was good, man.
Oh, what? Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's going to get me through this January now. Apparently, I'm down. I fuck with it. It's probably been sent. Yeah, I don't know the last time I went a month without alcohol.
Yeah, mine was January.
Because I even think back, for sure. I even think back to, Life Pacific days, and I'm like,
Probably had a beer.
I probably had a beer at least.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially my last semester there.
Fuck it.
That was every fucking week. Kidding me? Didn't care. Plus, it's fucking stupid anyways.
Yeah.
My biggest gripe with that is like, I understand and can respect you. You're a Bible college. You don't want alcohol on campus. Sure. I don't like that, but sure. I understand and I respect that. While I'm going to school, you don't want me to drink alcohol. That's a little bogus. I don't even really agree with that at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to go as far to say, it could be July and I'm at a fucking baseball game with my dad
Is
and
that
I
the case?
can't have a beer if I'm enrolled.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's where you can kind of fuck off.
Yeah. That's a little crazy.
It doesn't really serve a purpose at that point. Sure.
Drop out of college, kids.
It's going great for us.
Yeah.
You've got a house and a good job. I moved across the country.
Hopefully we'll again soon.
Things are fine.
What are the odds of you guys actually moving away from Washington, do you think?
Oh, hi.
You think so?
Yeah, it's just a matter of when.
Because I know you're like me. We're like done with the
Sure.
cold,
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
wet. Like it's just, it's fucking black outside, and it's like,
I mean, to be fair,
5:30,
it's January, to
and
be
it's
fair.
I know, but
I get it. I like to think without the clouds it'd be a little bit brighter.
Yeah. So And you've already moved across country, but like your girlfriend now, same state as family, grew up in Washington. It's a little different.
No, it definitely is. But I mean, she
could be the same way. That's what I'm asking.
yeah, I mean, she's probably the same way, and I mean, she's moved quite a bit too, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is the first time that she's lived back in Washington for longer than like a couple months since she was 18.
Yeah.
So, I mean, going to school in California and then living in Illinois, now being back here, and even being back here, the closest family is up north of Seattle, nonetheless. So, and then the rest of her family's in Yakima, as I'm sure we've talked about. But yeah, so it's like we see them, and like we're happy that we're close enough to where like things like Christmas and whatnot, we can go to the cabin and just like hang out with them and spend time with her family. But yeah, I don't have a timeline for it, that's for sure. But like,
Yeah.
Texas or California is definitely on the list for next stops.
I'm just like any of the southern states, just sun.
I don't think I want to go to New Mexico.
I don't. I mean,
Like, sure, it's fine.
I've spent like a little, like the smallest amount of time one can stay in a state without just flying through it in New Mexico, and I had a good time.
Sure. Were you in
But-
Phoenix or Albuquerque?
I don't
Wait,
remember-
Phoenix
not
is Arizona,
Yeah,
you
not
goddamn
Phoenix.
idiot. So it wasn't there.
I have no idea where I was.
Okay.
Can't remember.
That sounds like New Mexico.
Yeah, but I remember I was like, wow, not nothing here.
Yeah, surprisingly good time.
Yeah.
Well, they do have like I always picture it just as a complete flat desert.
Yeah, but it's not.
No, they have some nice landscape. They have
Yeah.
some cool rock formations, and I think they have some mountains. I think. I don't know, but it's cool there. When I went to school, and looking back, it's like, why the fuck did I take the goddamn train? Really could have like just flown Southwest and had the same amount of bags, but that's the choice that happened. I don't know. It made sense at the time where I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of stuff, some big stuff, and it just makes more sense to just throw it all on the train. But that was fucking dumb. It was a cool experience, like
Sure.
taking the train across the country, and I mean, you're going through a lot of random fucking places where there's like no roads for miles. Like the only
Yeah.
fucking thing out there is the railroad. So that was kind of cool going through some shit like that. But I remember we had to stop in New Mexico, and I was just like, that's it. Let's go. Nothing else to do here.
But better weather than here. So,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah, sure.
I have a hard time, like saying there's nothing to do here if there's like a pool and sun.
Yeah,
Because then I'm like, well, nothing to do here except sit in the pool,
and drink a beer.
drink a beer. Yep, that's weird. There's something to do that sounds better than anything else.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. So again, I definitely don't have a timeline, but we'll definitely move out and maybe end up back here at some point. I don't know.
Nah,
I'm just saying I'm not.
maybe like July through September.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just saying I'm not saying no. Is all I'm saying. I don't know.
You just said no.
I don't KNOW.
All I'm saying. Should we rate this beer?
We should probably rate this beer. What? Look. Jam. Nailed it. Smell. I legitimately, I mean, it
Reddish.
before it got chunky, it had some strong wine vibes going on.
Reddish orange.
Correct.
Uh,
No, that's not right.
Solid carb.
Yeah, kind of happy with that.
Yeah, carbonation's good.
Schmill?
Cherry raspberry.
Like,
You're really struggling here.
smells dirty.
What?
Like, it smells dirty.
I don't know what that means.
It just smells like the earth, dirt.
Okay, earthy.
Yeah, like I can't tell. Maybe it just smells like
Dirty doesn't mean
maybe it
anything.
smells like a dirty shirt. I don't know.
Like, yeah. Do you mean like dirty laundry? Do you mean like dirt?
Actually, it does have a chemical-y smell to it. Give it a good whiff. It has a.
Stop shaking your beer up, dude.
No, I'm trying to, because you get the bubbles and that's air that pops up to your nose. You're gonna get more sniffs if you give it some shakes.
I think what you're talking about is plum. I really do.
Plum covered in pesticides
No, it's just plum.
with pesticides.
I mean, probably, but like, it's just plum.
Pesticidal plum.
I don't see any like dirty or chemical like it is very like aerosol-esque in the sense that it's like very sharp scents because it's very like vibrant fruit notes. Very sharp and tart to the nose.
Smells like CO2.
So, well, that's probably true.
I wasn't breathing in there. Okay. That's not where it came from. I was only sniffing in. Tell me it's not CO2. From paintballing days, when
No.
some of that shit would leak out.
I don't get it.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Sure. Okay. You know, win some, you don't win some.
Yeah. Sure.
Taste.
Cherry tart. Wouldn't call it a sour boy.
It's a fucking sour boy.
I mean, it's just tart. It's like
No,
the
it's
description
sour.
of the beer is a sour, but it's tart.
Mm-mm.
Back end has that gunky plum. See, maybe you meant gunky rather than dirty.
I don't think so. Is it a sour? Not really, technically.
It's a farmhouse ale, so yeah, it is a sour.
Thank you.
Because isn't that what the Brettanomyces is? CCs? It's a yeast that's derived from other elements other than like.
Yes. I think we talked about this with Todd
did.
one day, and I can't fucking remember. Like, Brett is a strain of yeast.
It's tugging at my mind things because then I joked about it because I was like, haha, that's a character in The Sun Also Rises. It's a great book. Ernest Hemingway.
I asked him if it was Brett was wild yeast, and he said no, but it's similar.
Yeah.
But that's really all I remember about it. And I feel like we've also looked this up at some point.
My dog is just screaming right now.
She's tweaking balls.
yeah,
Something's
she's-
going on.
Um,
You can probably hear like a little bit, but not much. Oh, that's delicious.
Brett is a non-spore forming genus of yeast in the family
Saccharomyces.
is often colloquially referred to as
Okay.
Brett. The genus name Acara is used interchangeably with Brett as it describes the teleomorph or spore-forming form of the yeast. Wow.
Listen here, science.
I don't know what that means.
Start being more English, okay? Would really help everybody out.
Like American English.
Yeah, specifically, please.
American.
Fucking hell, bud.
Brett is a genus of yeast traditionally associated with Old Stock Ale from 19th century Britain and well recognized as being responsible for tertiary something.
fuck is tertiary?
It's like third,
Oh,
primary, secondary, tertiary.
well, you live and you
Bam.
learn.
Knowledge drops.
Yeah, that was the most helpful one. Wikipedia, you're a bit too smart for me.
Okay, feel.
Bubbly. Yeah, there you
Carb.
go. Yeah.
Light.
It's
pretty light. Crisp. Maybe not light for like a sour, right? Like it's got.
I'm gonna go medium.
You throw down like a medium-bodied sour, like specifically. You know what I mean?
Can I call it light?
Sure.
Yeah, crisp, but
Is that like light?
medium light.
Shyamalan.
Yeah. M light Shyamalan. The very same. Fuck.
So deceptive, but not.
This beer.
Big twist at the end with the plum.
Exactly. Fucking nailed it. Thoughts? M Night? I don't.
Like, are you, you know, picking some fruit and that's why you chose this beer? Like, I don't, what, you know, you take this out blackberry picking. I don't, you know, what other fruit do people pick? Blueberries?
Sure. Apples. Say apples.
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 And then you're having a picnic and you bring along this beer like that.
4th of July watching fireworks.
No.
You sure though?
Yeah. You're drinking American style lager
That's true.
or an IPA. Yeah, the Bing Cherry was light enough, and I think we might have split that as well. But like 16 ounces of this is just like, it's a chore when you're not like out in nature, you know, when you're like, you know, sitting in a room podcasting or even at a brewery. I'm not like, man, can't wait for some funky Farmer Ralph in my mouth.
Never. Even though it rhymes,
So,
this is the one and only time that it doesn't make it true.
yeah.
Hear me out. On a hillside in Paris, watching fireworks
Why
at night.
Why is there fireworks?
I don't know. I'm just getting fireworks vibes from this beer.
I would
That's what I'm
I would
getting.
be having like a baguette and drinking wine. I wouldn't be having this.
You're not in Italy. You're in fucking Paris.
Yeah. Who do you think invented the baguette?
Who do you think invented Paris? Who conquered who?
What?
Where do people like disperse from?
What? Rome.
Yeah. Like the Romans,
What?
like the Romans, could you say the Romans built Paris?
I mean, I don't like probably not.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the geography of where Paris is located.
France.
Well, I know that, dumbass. But isn't it like northern, like what they would call it, not the south of France? I met this French dude once at a bar
Okay.
who I bummed my first cigarette that I've ever smoked off of, and he was arguing that if you're going to visit France, you have to visit northern France, and then his buddy was just going on about the south of France is the way to do it. So
That's funny. I feel like Paris is right in the middle, by the way.
I think you're probably correct, but you know, really like south of France.
Oh,
is
nope.
like a
It's
whole
quite
thing.
north.
Yeah. See, I
quite north.
I
Quite
I
north.
occasionally do know what I'm on about.
Yeah, fair enough. It's close to Belgium. Looks like only like 3-4 hour drive.
Yeah. So I don't know that. I mean, Rome captured a lot, but I don't know that they went that far north. That was probably left to the heathens, the Germanics, the wild peoples. I don't know. As much as that like era is cool, it's never like really interested me to learn like any like in-depth
I think
like knowledge on, like retaining any in-depth knowledge on.
the most interesting things over there, in my opinion, is, and they kind of go hand in hand, is the architecture and the art.
We sound so American.
Sure. Totally nailed it, by the way. 4 hours.
I don't care about their art. Sorry.
Sure.
I don't really care
The
about
architecture's cool.
I don't really care about the architecture. It's very like Gothic a lot of times compared to like
Totally.
the Eastern countries that are very like I don't know, not Gothic.
Totally. Like Jackson Pollock, Frank Lloyd Wright, you know? Totally. Okay. I need to think about this beer and how I feel.
Like look at
About
the,
it.
like you know,
That's old shit. Look at new shit.
Turkey architecture. I mean, this is pretty fucking new.
Okay, that's new.
Like I like the old shit. Like
No, but I mean, like that's a fucking painting. Like it's not real.
what?
Show me the real thing. What even is that place?
I don't know. I'm not a fucking scientist.
Istanbul and so that's nice.
That's what I'm saying. Like
nice.
the Eastern stuff, you know.
Look up Alcochete, Portugal.
No,
It's pretty cool.
I believe you.
They're like right on the water. It's fucking gorgeous.
But the whole Istanbul thing was as far as us taking it because we need to rate this beer
fair enough.
and leave. And like you, I don't know, so I too need to read.
Gotta take a second.
Yeah, you were gonna say look up this while I continue looking at the scale. No, I need to look at the scale too, bitch.
Okay, sorry. I have a general idea here.
It's gonna be the same
General idea.
thing that we give every beer
Wrong.
that we don't
run.
know where to rate because it's pretty good. You know, it's gonna be the same. I mean, maybe it's not because you don't like this style of beer like I do. So I don't know.
Yeah,
But I'm ready. That was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. It's just gonna be the same, and I'm fine with it being
And
the same
I-
because that's where it belongs.
okay. I know where I'm at.
I think you know where I'm at too. So just go ahead and say both.
I'm at a 2.3. Okay, and I think you're at a 2.6.
Wow, you're 2.8.
No, I'm at 2.3.
Oh, 2.3.
Yeah.
The 3 made an 8 in my mind. I don't know how,
You heard,
but it did.
So where were you? Was I wrong?
Yeah,
Where are you at?
I'm 3.4.
3.4?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let me explain.
Sure.
Farmhouse ales, not my favorite.
Sure.
Something that we didn't comment on in the description of this beer, but like to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
probably should. In the main body of the taste, there is a slight breadiness.
This is batch number 2. That's pretty
Wow.
cool. I've never seen such low numbers in batches.
Look at us
Wow. Okay. So
getting at it first.
go ahead.
There's some breadiness,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Do you disagree?
No, I'm with you. I'm
it's
tracking.
It's something that we didn't talk about. So
I would have not said nothing and made a face if I didn't agree with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
So that is the thing that I don't like about farmhouse ales. They kind of remind me of like that, like rye, Belgian-y.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I don't like about that. Other than that, and that's kind of where I go to the concept is there. It's all well executed. That's our descriptors for good, the category that I'm in. other than that, which I think is a stylistic choice, not a thing that like I'm faulting them for. I think it's, pretty good. So I think if you kind of if you like sours and you like Belgians and you kind of like that play that farmhouse ales take on both of those things, I think you're probably thinking this is a pretty good beer. The plum throws me off though, so I'm not going to go any higher than a 3.4. And same thing with the breadiness. I think it's just, and the size. Like if this was a 10 ounce beer, then I think just all of those things get me to a 3.4.
Well, things are settling. We're getting different flavors than we were earlier as well.
True. That's where I'm at.
Okay. So I get that, and I think you're leaving. Personally, I think you're not taking into consideration what should be a big part of this beer, and that it is barrel aged. And so when I think of barrel aged, I think you're not. Every brewery that I've seen, you don't just fucking throw everything in a barrel, right? You're using this barrel once and then you're getting rid of it. Okay. So, and this shit's definitely not necessarily cheap. Barrels aren't like necessarily cheap. And like we were talking with Todd one day, and a lot of times like they don't know what they're gonna get, like specifically, and they've had to throw like fuck tons of barrels and barrels of beer out, like entire batches before, because it just wasn't what they wanted, and or it just tastes like shit, to be quite frank. And
it is what it is.
Sure, it is what it is. But again, going back to that, like I think you're gonna put a winner in a barrel, right? Because you're banking on it. Like it's a lot of time, and it's not very cost effective for them to do that. This is what they've said. This is what they've said.
No, I know. I get what you're saying. I think I'm giving a face more to like where you're going.
Okay, so where I'm going,
I disagree with where you're going.
So where I'm going with this is, I think this beer is just very fine. It's very middle of the road. There's nothing super special about it. And then on top of that, I don't personally think the barrel aged added like any complexities to the beer. I think it's it's not a bad beer. I think it's fine. I just don't think like there's not a lot of nuances going on in here. I think like you take a drink, you get what you get. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's just kind of a plain Jane, in my opinion.
Yeah, so that's where I disagree with you, personally.
Okay.
I think that I think where I disagree is we don't have any description on the barrels.
Yeah.
We just know that it was barrel aged.
That's true.
So they don't say bourbon barrel aged,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So and I know it's not bourbon barrel aged because it's doesn't
not.
taste like it at all.
At all.
Yeah. Or at least it would really surprise me.
Right.
The other thing, stylistically, I think certain beers are have a greater propensity for taking on flavors from barrels, as well as are intentionally designed around getting those flavors, like a barrel aged stout or a bourbon barrel aged stout.
Yeah.
It's really designed to pull some of those caramely notes, so you get like a lot of vanilla milky stuff from the stout, and then you're like, what's this weird like spicy caramely thing that's coming out of nowhere?
Yeah.
This, my guess, would be a lot more tart and sharp without the barrel aging. So I think you're probably getting a lot more oaky or woodier notes in it.
I think
my
you're
assumption.
right. I think you're probably right in that regard. And
like it's not designed to add funk. It's designed to give it some like body and smoothness.
Sure. And in that regard, like, yeah, I'm probably a little ignorant of, where their direction was, with this beer. I would be interested to try this beer prior to barrel aging.
Well, this is all conjecture. We haven't had the beer before. We haven't had batch number 2 prior to barrel aging. We don't know what kind of barrels they use. This is all
Yeah.
You could be right. I could be wrong. Could be vice versa. It could be neither. You know,
Don't know.
and it could be like, actually, the barrels that we used were, you know,
Fucking Scotch.
acacia vodka barrels because some weird distillery was experimenting. I don't know.
Sure.
I really
Could
doubt
be.
that was the case,
But you never
but maybe
know.
we don't know.
No. In general, again, I don't love this. I just personally don't think it's nothing special. Sure, I don't have a lot of experience in this style of beer, but thinking back to like the Bing Cherry, where I think that did really have something going for it. That's honestly the only beer of this style that I can drop by name. I could probably count on both hands the amount of beers that I've had around this style, but again, it's just not doing it for me.
Okay.
It's fine.
So we have a pints episode with a good thing that I'm relating this to.
Sure.
The can't remember the name because I always
See?
call it the watermelon. the hef, the watermelon hef. What was it called?
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember
The odd
where we
otter
were.
melon.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but it's an odd. It's at Odd Otter. It's a brewery in Tacoma, and it's a watermelon hef. And I hate that beer because everything
terrible.
I don't like
So
in that
bad.
style, and it's a very similar style of beer to this, honestly. I mean, it's definitely a hef, not a farmhouse ale, but like the flavors that you're getting out of it, it's just very bready and very like. I literally called it like it tasted like a PB&J to me. Like it just not. It was disgusting to me.
It was so bad. It really was.
So like comparing, because this isn't a wild ale.
No.
It's a farmhouse ale.
Right.
Like that has, some of those kind of tones to it. So I don't know. That's kind of what I'm comparing it to, not to the Bing Cherry. They both had cherries in it.
Otter melon half.
I nailed it.
Yes.
Good
You
on
did.
me.
You did. Good job.
Yeah, don't drink that beer.
Don't drink that beer. Even, because I couldn't even tell you her fucking name. Even our beer stress,
Yeah,
wouldn't
sure.
call her really a waitress. She didn't really,
Beer tender.
beer tender. Even was like, oh yeah, it's really popular. And then we're like, yeah, but like,
Is it good?
and do these people like it? And she was like,
Yeah. She was like trying to be nice about it. We're
yeah.
like,
And we're like,
you don't have to tell us.
Yeah,
She's
don't
like, no, I
sugarcoat
really
it.
like it. And we're like,
but like,
okay.
sure.
We get what you're putting down.
Yeah. Blink twice if you're being held against your will right now.
She blinked twice.
She's blinked twice. Let me tell you what.
She was the first person that told us about like the 10 p.m. curfew, and we're like, oh,
Yeah.
yikes. And she was like, no, it's not that big of a deal. And we're like, no, it's
Yeah, it kind of is.
Kind of is.
It's kind of unconstitutional, but it's fine.
It's whatever.
It's totally fine. How do they get this shit on you? Do they burn it? How do they do that?
I don't know.
All right. Just a thought. Probably ink.
I've never made a cork before.
Well, this is ink. I can tell this is ink,
Okay, and then you figured it out.
but the top and bottom does not look like ink. Know what I mean? The sides is like, oh yeah, it's ink,
They're a little more brown.
right?
I
Yeah, a
think.
little more brown.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Cool corks, bro.
Would you get, so say they used a brand for this, would you get branded with that?
Like me?
Yeah. If Todd was like, I think we're making corks today. Some of our staff have done it. Do you want to get a little E9 brand?
I wouldn't be quick to say no.
You get a free beer.
I would say yes. Worth. I've burnt myself many a times. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it would suck, but like
Totally.
as long as it's not in your hand, I feel like
yeah.
I can do it.
Oof, yeah. Ugh. Get my leg. I feel like you could totally
Yeah.
take it in the leg.
Totally like
Like right on the side of the thigh. Like,
Yeah.
like,
easy,
I could totally do that.
easy.
I take it a fucking.
Your like bicep would be good too, though. But that's a really good tattoo place. I probably wouldn't want to fuck that up.
Exactly.
But easy.
Taking a fucking motorcycle muffler to the inner thigh. Like, I think I
Yeah.
could take like a small brand to the outer thigh.
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it. Well,